Hello, in today's video, I am going to explain you about the things. Anyhow, as we already in the process of discussing the worksheet, the first worksheet of MCQs, which comprises of multiple choice questions with regards to MCOM entrance and other competitive exams as well. So, let me be very clear of it. So the first question is like which one of the following is an ingredient of the entity convention of accounting? What is that an entity convention of accounting? In the conventions, in the business conventions, we have business entity concept, right? So business entity concept speaks about the owner or the proprietor and the business concern is different. The transactions of the owner's personal should not be treated as the transactions of businessman. So what does it mean? The transactions of owner's personal is different. The transactions related to business are different. With regards to the transactions or with regards to any kind of expenses, so the transactions related to owner is different, business concern is different. So the correct answer is option B, the owner and units are treated separately, right? Yes. The second question, like, so what is the second question? So which one of the following accounting statement is correct? Option A, assets is equals to owner equity. No, assets is equals to liabilities of owners, liabilities plus owner's equity. Assets is equals to liability minus owner equity. Option D, assets plus liabilities is equals to owner's equity. The option B is the correct answer. Since assets in the balance sheet, we have assets as well as liabilities. In the liabilities, we have normal liabilities and owner's equity. Owner's equity in the sense equity shares, preference shares, whatever it might be. The share capital is called as owner's equity. So owner's equity plus liabilities is equals to total assets in the balance sheet. I hope you clearly understood, right? So the next one. Which one of the following accounting conventions stipulates that the contingent assets appears as a footnote in the balance sheet? So footnote in the balance sheet speaks about disclosing, right? So the disclosures convention speaks about disclosing all the facts which are related to the balance sheet items. So the answer is option C. The disclosure convention speaks about the contingent asset should be appeared as a footnote. According to the conventions of the disclosure, any kind of transactions appears, any kind of contingent assets appears, it should be appeared as a footnote in the balance sheet. So yeah, so option like we have now fourth question. So which one of the following is not related to the convention of conservatism? So conservatism speaks about create the provisions for the better future of the business, right? So option A, the making provisions for the doubtful debts and discount on debts in the anticipation of actual bad debts and discounts. Yes, this is one of the one of the important things related to the convention of conservatism. Conservatism speaks about create or make the provisions for the doubtful debts and the discount on debts for the anticipation of actual bad debtors. Futurely, if we find or if we face any kind of bad debtors, and the discount to be provided for the bad debtors for any kind of recovery, certain provisions should be made in initial period itself. This is a part of conservatism convention. So option B, valuation of stock at market price or cost price, whichever is lower, so higher, it is not at all related to the convention of conservatism. So option B. Option C, charging of small capital items is yes. Small capital items should be treated as a revenue in the regular business operations. Adopting return on value method of depreciation as against straight line method, yes, this is one of the parts of the conservatism principle. For the better depreciation policy, we have to adopt WDV method instead of straight line method. Good. Option B is the correct answer. I hope you are clearly understanding the video, right? So if you really understand, you just subscribe to the channel and just share to your friends, since these objective questions are really helpful for not only MCOM friends but also all the competitive exams like what can we say initially, like MCOM entrance, like junior accounts officer for the BSNL, some kind of accountant post in the railways, in the insurance companies, for the banking. We can expect these kind of questions, as well as for after post graduation, you people will go for national eligibility test. These questions will be very familiar with regard to all these exams. So Just subscribe the channel and share it to your friends. The next question. On 31st March 2000, there is some case. On 31st March 2013, the closing stock of X Limited was rupees 3,45,000. Okay. On April 1st, 2013, stock of rupees 2,25,000 was destroyed by the fire. Okay. The company closes its accounts on 31st March. The balance sheet of the company on the 31st March 2013 was filed as on 25th April 2013. Then the balance sheet will show the closing stock at. See, whatever the things happen after post balance sheet date, the value of assets and liabilities as on the balance sheet date should be shown in the balance sheet, irrespective of the finalization date, whether the balance sheet has been finalized in the month of April or May, whatever it might be, as on the balance sheet date. Here, what is the as on the balance sheet date? The balance sheet date was like on 31st March. It is 31st, right? The company closes its accounts on 31st March. See, listen. So, what does it mean? 31st date, 31st March is the balance sheet date. So, 31st is the balance sheet date. So, at the date, what is the status? The value is like 3,45,000, right? So, 3,45,000 is the closing stock with no mention of fire. Fire should not be mentioned, right? Next, greater mechanization of offices results in. So, greater mechanization speaks about better housekeeping, greater accuracy in the work. Yes, greater mechanization of offices goes for. Why? In order to increase the accuracy in the work, greater mechanization will be taken place. So, office and maintenance can be strengthened chiefly through better work measurement. Yes, there should be some better work measurement so that the employees or the laborers with consent to the production or office, whatever it might be, they will work properly. Informal organization is as necessary as formal organization chiefly for the reason that it is built moral. Yes, informal organization, in any kind of organization, informal organization is required and formal organization is required. Why informal organization? Informal organization will increase the moral among the employees. Yeah. After the commencement of Companies Act 2013, no person serves as otherwise provided shall hold office as director at the same time in more than 20 companies. Yes. So, as per the section 165 of Companies Act 2013, very important point. No doubt. As per the section 165 of the Companies Act, no person can hold the office as a director for more than 20 companies. If in the case of public companies, the maximum number of companies is 10. Maximum 10 public companies. He can hold office of maximum 10 public companies as a director. So, in the case of all the companies, it is 20. In the case of public companies, it is 10. A director having direct or indirect interest or concern in transaction of company has to disclose his interest in a meeting to the, yes, he has to disclose if any kind of interest, having direct or indirect interest towards any kind of transaction within the company, he should clearly mention in the meeting to the board of directors. He has to provide that information to the board of directors. Analytical view by an auditor mainly includes. Analytical speaks about what? Analytical review will be made in order to go for decision making. So, how the decision making will be doing? Examining books and other documents, physical verification of assets, examining day books with the ledgers, study of ratios and trends. Yes, study of ratios and trends will help to go for better decision making in the future. So, yes, which one of the following pays is not correctly matched? What is it called as? Suppression of invoices, window dressing, okay, overcharging depreciation, secret reserves, omission of cash receipts from the debtors, understatement of sales, omission of credit sales, understatement of debtors. So, what could be like, what is it called as? Omission of credit sales, understatement of debtors, right? 1 minute. So, what it could be like? Continuing to the video, which one of the following pays is not correctly matched? The suppression of invoices, window dressing, overcharge, suppression of invoices, window dressing. No, window dressing speaks about happening, disclosing, not disclosing the things happened and disclosing things not happened. This is related to the window dressing. So, the answer should be like omission of, what is it called? Omission of cash receipts from, omission of the cash receipts from debtors Understatement of sales, no, this is not really matched even we can consider. So the correct answer is omission of cash receipts from debtors. So whenever we omitted the cash receipts from the debtors, it doesn't mean that understatement of sales, right? So the correct answer is, it is not correctly matched. The answer is C. Yes. Third one. The main purpose of auditing is to detect the office offences, no. Prepare the authenticates the accounts, no. Prepare the accounts and authenticate the true and fair view, okay. Certify the financial position of business. Yes, this is the final goal. This is the final goal of auditing. Certify the financial position of the business. Statement of standard asserts practices are important while discharging the auditing function by a member of the ICA in case of company, because standard auditing practices are prescribed by the ICAI. All this standard auditing practices have been prescribed by the ICAI. So for that purpose, it is really important while discharging the auditing function. Selection of items to be included in the audit on a subjective basis without consideration of sample size or method of selection is called as probability sampling, systematic sampling, random sampling, judgment sampling. No. So what does it mean? Here in the case of audit, here there is no subjective basis, there is no kind of sample size, but just on random basis they are doing audit. So in these kind of things are called as random sampling. So random sampling is nothing but picking up of the substances or the variables alternatively randomly. It's not alternatively, it is randomly from any place. So next one, under section 25 of the Companies Act 1956, there is a power to dispense with the word limited in the name to certain associate that may be registered as a company with a limited liability. Who has the power to dispense? Obviously, it is like central government. Central government has the power to dispense the word limited, which may be registered as a company with a limited liability. So next, which one of the following is not valid observation with reference to the declaration or the payment of dividend for any financial year? Depreciation for the current financial year must be provided. Areas of the depreciation must be provided. Losses incurred in the previous year must be set off. 10% of profits must be transferred to the reserves in all the cases. So this is not correct observation as per my understanding. So option D, 10% of the net profits or 10% of the profits must be transferred to the reserves in all the cases. No, how can they transfer 10% of profits in all the cases? If the company goes for the losses, how can we transfer 10% of the profits? So this is not the correct option, no correct observation as per my knowledge is concerned. The auditor must ensure that the amount of premium on the issue of shares is not utilized for years. According to the Companies Act 2013, whatever the amount of the premium that we are getting for the issue of shares, it can be utilized for the issue of bonus shares, it can be issued for the commission paid on the shares, issue of shares, whatever the commission we paid, we are writing off, providing for premium payable or redemption of preference shares, and transfer to the capital redemption ratio. No, the amount should not be transferred to the capital redemption ratio in the case of premium received on the issue of shares. Premium received in the case of issue of shares should not be transferred to capital redemption ratio. I hope you clearly understood, right? Yeah. Next. According to the Companies Act 2013, every registered company shall have to prepare which of the following accounts and statements at the end of the financial year for the approval of shareholders and submission to the register of companies. It is obviously profit and loss account and balance sheet. The systematic of internal check ensures that. What is that internal check speaks about? Internal check speaks about whatever the work done by one employee will be checked by the another employee in order to avoid errors at initial stage itself. So internal check speaks about work is distributed among the employees according to their merit and disqualifications. No. Work is completed as per prescribed time schedules. No. Work performed by the one employee is automatically checked by the other employee. Work performed by one employee is checked by the internal audit staff. No. Option C, work performed by one employee is automatically checked by the another employee. I hope you clearly understood, right? So, if you really understood the video, you just subscribe to the channel Purna Educare. If you have any doubts or concerns, please feel free to WhatsApp to this number 8523058577. You don't forget to subscribe the channel for future notifications. You press on the bell button, bell icon. You just subscribe to the channel, you press on the bell icon and you share it to your friends who are really going for all the kind of exams like MCOM entrance as well as other government exams, as well as any kind of interviews which are related to any kind of multinational companies or the domestic companies which speaks about accountancy. Thank you.